Oh, well, do you know, take bloody five. Take four was going really well until this one here. Can you see him? Decided to move around, and then the light there started to make noises, and and rather than actually concentrating on the fact that I'm talking to a camera, I started worrying about that. Anyway, hello, welcome to day 32 of 120 days of reconnecting with the self. So you'll notice a change, right? You've noticed a change? Yes, I was saying reintegration. When I first thought about doing this process a little while ago, I initially called it the 120-day challenge, and somewhere, maybe not in here actually, I come to you from my healing space, just because it's actually the coolest place in the house at the moment, and the fire's been roaring. So this is probably the best place to sit. Um, so initially, when I did this, I called it the challenge, and then I 120-day challenge. And I don't like challenge. I think it's combative and competitive, and so I called it a reintegration. And what I've realised is that integration is just an ongoing thing, and it happens all the time. And so I guess I've evolved after 32 days to reconnection. Sorry, I'm shaking you there. Anyway, so it's been quite a reflective couple of days, and it's come out of a meditation I was doing early one morning, which is my daily routine, and the question came up of who are you? Who am I? Who are you? Who am I? There's who am I and where am I, and so I'm at the who am I stage at the moment. Now, this was an interesting one to come up for me because of the fact that I have spent a lot of time looking at who am I. Genuinely. I mean, I'm talking, years in therapy with a very good therapist. Uh, I mean, working through, formal education. So, I have, a couple of plaques on the wall, one in relation to, studying violence and trauma, and there's so many levels of that, but that came from a very personal space through, being in a, reasonably interesting childhood, which was pretty normal. I think violence in families or in working class families in New Zealand, very much so. And then through my health journey as well, so originally I wanted to be an addictions therapist because I had some underlying issues around addictions, and then I went into mental health. And there's probably, there's definitely some stuff that I've dealt with there through depression and a whole lot of shit that's, very much been looked at and explored. But I've never, what I realised is through all those times, I've never taken the time to actually look at, what is it that formed me? What is it that has defined who I am? And is it, the environment that you're brought up in? Tick, is it the socioeconomic situations you're brought up in? Tick, is it, the family or whānau, the extended family whānau that we have around us? So many levels. And, what other elements? I mean, I'm a dyslexic. I'm a roaring dyslexic. And it's one of, it's just, I don't want to say it's a superpower because I think it's a bit corny. But what it does is it actually look at the world in a very, very different way. I think I also have, I have ADHD as well, and so that makes me, view the lens, the world through different lenses as well. And to me, they're not good and they're not bad. And I think, it hurts me to think that people that either have some form of autism or are diagnosed through ADHD, rather than sort of embracing it and working with it, they medicate for it. Now, that's no judgment. My beautiful daughter, Trouble, we'll call her Trouble, because that's her nickname. She is diagnosed with ADHD, and I know medication has had a massive positive impact on her life. She's studying in the professions, and that medication allows her to be very focused and do what she does incredibly well. For me, I'm 49, and it's taken me 49 years to learn to drive this bastard. in a lot of ways. And I'm not just talking about my mind, I'm talking about, I guess, my heart and my soul and stuff as well, and I'm learning every day. So I don't see the value in medicating myself. In saying that, I'm conscious I've spent a lot of my life medicating myself, through, socially accepted forms of medication, which was, alcohol and drugs, really. And, one of the things I'm really happy about now is my alcohol consumption is incredibly low. Last it's been pretty much most of my life, my whole anyway. And don't take prescriptions drugs, and I use a medicinal substance to help with pain and sleep management, and even that is being dialed right back, and it is under prescription from a doctor. So it's not illegal, and it's natural, right? We have a receptor in the brain, and all it does is receives THC and that sort of thing. So yeah, but it's been interesting unpacking that. And the realization, I think I've talked about this in another video, but that realization that, so there's a part of me that I always wonder about whether I'll get back to. And it's because I think it was a part of me that was, throughout my part of my life, it was criticised. And it was seen as, being sensitive it was seen as bad, especially if you're a boy. Yeah. Anyway, so that's where I'm at, and we're 6.5 minutes in, and if you're still here, fucking good on you, because I'm waffly a bit. Anyway, hey, look, much love. Share, subscribe, give me a like, and give me a comment. I love a comment, especially if you actually don't know me and you're watching this. Give me a comment. Anyway, much love, Fano. Talk to you again soon.